day. Where have you seen the most, or where have you seen the most improvement regarding the defense as a whole?
Everywhere. I think guys, the more reps they get, they really put an awful lot of effort into it, both mentally and physically. And the more reps they get, the better they get. That was our goal at the beginning of the season, was to make sure that this was a team that was still on the rise. Every game, and at the end of the season, we're playing our best ball. And they've taken that as a task that they want to fulfill. And every day in practice, you get an awful lot of effort out of those guys, and you get some retention, from a standpoint of understanding, how to fit something, or how to make a check, or how to play a little bit different technique versus some of the schemes that they're seeing. So, in essence, I think the one thing that we see a lot of is we see a lot of run in practice, and we fit that pretty well. So we've tried to give a little bit more tempo, which was something that hurt us a little bit in the fourth quarter of the Western Kentucky games. We tried to rep that a good bit more and simulate that a little bit better. And then some of the third down passing game is something that we've gotten better and better at, and still have room for improvement there. But our pass rush is something that's helped us a little bit, and coverage is gotten better as well.
Fantastic. And captain and senior linebacker Eric Smith has been named semifinalist for the Campbell Trophy, the same award won by another linebacker, Andrew Rodriguez, in 2011. Can you talk about Eric as both a player and leader, and what he means to the team?
Eric does everything that you ask of him from a standpoint of leadership. There's some times where we ask him to speak up and be a little bit more vocal. He's done that for me on occasion. He's a guy that will lead by example. He does that often. That's probably what he's a little bit more suited for. He's a guy that off the field does a great job of I can say, just preparing himself to the nth degree. I mean, he just takes it to a different level as far as his preparedness for not only games but practice. I mean, it's just amazing at what the effort that he puts forth, and in understanding everything that we tell him, and he doesn't leave anything per chance. He does a nice job of explaining things to other guys as well, maybe on the sideline or at times, when they come for advice. So is he a guy that you count on as a leader? Absolutely. And we've got quite a few leaders on the defensive side, mm-hmm. but he may be one that just for maybe his best suit is just leading by example, and do this and give great effort every play, and whether it's physical or mental. And then I couldn't be happier for him as far as any kind of awards that he's up for, because he does an awful lot for our defense. And I think he's deserving, very deserving. He's a really good football player, and maybe some teams don't run at him as much as if it'd be somebody else there, because his skill level, dictates that he wins. He just does. So great football player for us. Does a great job.
And speaking of linebackers, since he stepped on campus, you've been really high on Spencer Jones. He was nicked up during preseason. Can you talk about his progression now that he's gotten back on the field and back in the lineup?
Yeah, I was always a big fan of Spencer's. I thought, last year we had great linebacker play, and if it hadn't been for that, Spencer probably would have got more reps, in his first year. But when he did get his opportunity, he stepped in and I thought just performed really, really well. And he's done a great job of stepping in with very limited reps during the off season, and early on, just overcoming some time off because of injury to catch up with the speed of the game, and some differences that we've made, from one year to the next in some of our assignments and techniques. And he just, again, he's going to be a guy that continues to get better and better and better, because he's just that type of student of the game. And you're going to get your all from him. And that's what a lot of these guys are like. But Spencer sort of takes it to a different degree,
Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Hi, Nate. Ken McMillan from The Record.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Nate, can you go back to Eric Smith? I know you're talking about leading by example and all, but can you give us some specific things as to what he does on the field that makes him as good as he is?
I think Eric is a guy that he understands what's coming. He understands the plays he needs to make, that he has to make. And he's there to make those plays. And in practice, he's a guy that finishes. He just will not stop until he finishes all the way through a play. A lot of times we just ask our guys maybe to run through the backside of a hip, to save some wear and tear, from a physical standpoint on them in practice. Or we ask them to just give in at the last second to a play that's going to be a collision between a linebacker and a receiver, just to sort of give in to that ball to save, from injury standpoint, and he's a guy that it's hard to get him to not have contact in practice. And he still stays healthy, and sometimes the other guys aren't. But he's a guy that just finishes really, really well for us, whether it's practice or game time. It's the exact same for him every time.
You see someone like Lawrence Taylor when he played, and he would shout about it. He's a crazed animal. Well, Eric seems to make plays, but he just goes back to business. He's not very demonstrative.
Yeah, I'm not sure that everybody has to be like LT, and yet when I look at Eric, I think, what, he just reminds me of Mike Singletary, just the eyes and the demeanor, as far as the how he moves, everything that he does, and the focus. And I'm not saying Mike Singletary is not wasn't a boisterous person. I don't know that at all, but just watching him as a player, I see, similarities. And, I love the way that Eric, he just brings it. He just brings it every play. And he doesn't have to talk about it. He doesn't have to, sometimes on TV, you see a lot of guys, pointing their finger and doing stuff, the hype and the trash talk. He doesn't need to do that, and doesn't do it, and just takes his job serious, and you can count on him. There's other guys that can talk a lot of trash, and that's something that helps them get motivated. So just different types of motivation for different types of guys. And he's a guy that whatever the case, he's there when you need him. And, I can't think of many times where we wanted more from him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that he's never missed a tackle. I'm not going to say that he's never, that he's always beaten, every block, but you can count on his best effort every time.
When I think back to last year, Johnny Radigan just kind of burst onto the scene and was, had numbers all over the place. Now Eric has good numbers, but they don't jump off the page. Is that a case of our teams scheming against him? They're avoiding him because they know how good this guy is?
Well, two different positions. I think that Radigan played one where we did some things a little bit different with that will linebacker than we do the Mike. And the other thing is, if you're getting off the field faster than other defenses, then your stats, you don't have as many stats as other defenses. So if we get some 3 and outs, if we get some takeaways, early in the series, then you're just not going to have as many tackles or or pass breakups or things like that. So I think as I look back at the defenses over the years, where I had some guys that had up in the 100 tackles or so, maybe more than that. Maybe sometimes they weren't our best defenses, because we stayed on the field a little bit longer than what we needed to.
Mm-hmm. And then just lastly, can you give us your overview of Ball State offense and what you're about to face?
Love this offense. I think the quarterback's very experienced. I think he's got a little bit more free reign as far as checking into some plays and taking some easy access throws when you give them to him. I think he sees the field well, and he's got good size. The tight ends, they'll play with 2 tight ends, a lot. And again, I think that I love that type of offense from a standpoint of the ability to adjust, to get extra blockers in the passing game out of your tight ends, to get some chip blocks, to get bigger guys matched up on either linebackers or safeties, and extra blockers in there for the run game. So I think this is a game that we absolutely know we got to play our best. There's no doubt in our minds that this is one where we'll be tested in this ball game, and we're looking forward to it, because this is a style of play that where they can attack you downhill, with the run game, but they can also attack you out on the perimeter with their speed sweeps and really good athletes touching the ball and getting out on the perimeter. And when they get in space, they make plays.
Thanks, Nate.
Sure.
Any others for Coach?
Hey, it's Chris Garino with the Academy Football Report.
Hey, Chris.
Good afternoon, Coach. Can we talk a minute about the broad axe? What is the broad axe, and what are the origins there?
That's a good question. Years ago, I went on a visit to Notre Dame. I think Lou Holtz was back there at the time, and a buddy of mine had worked for Holtz at Notre Dame, and so we were over there visiting with them. And on the way back from the airport, we saw a newspaper article that was attributed to I'm not 100% sure, maybe it was Bobby Knight or Dean Smith, one of those guys, talking about defense, and what they talked about. They gave a nice little quote about defense, a little poem or whatever. But defense is a demanding taskmaster, relentless taskmaster, and to be played well calls on one to give himself fully. Sweat and effort are his trademarks, and when forcefully applied, is blunt an instrument as an ancient broad axe. So we just sort of took that as a bit of our moniker, something that is a weapon, something that can be swift, something that can be powerful, deadly, and just sort of think of our defense in that sort of same manner, and it just those sort of thoughts during tough times sort of helps you over the hump a little bit. So the broad axe is something that we use, just when we break it out on broad axe, and whenever we get together, and we also have an axe or hatchet that we use, whenever we get a takeaway, whenever we get big plays, and that's also symbolic of our Rangers, that use that as a symbol for their group, and we think an awful lot and have a lot of respect for the Rangers.
Is it illustrative of you as a coach and your philosophy?
You know what? My philosophy would be this: if we are playing fast and we're physical, then we make up for some mistakes. You can't make a ton of mistakes, in this ball game, or at some point, teams will take advantage of it. But if you're playing fast and you're running through, there's some minor little details and mistakes that you can play through, and that is something that we want assignment. We want execution, but if you're doing that at a very slow pace, then you still get beat, at times. And so we want to make sure that we got the right kind of attitude and effort going into a ball game. So I guess from that standpoint, yeah, it is my philosophy.
How has the team responded to the broad axe as an award or reward for a good performance?
It's really hard for me to get it back from them. Whenever we give that axe to the guys, I also give it to a guy that demonstrated the best effort, attitude during the course of the week, and he gets to keep that thing, awarded on a Friday in our team meeting. He gets to keep it overnight and hold on to that until game time. And getting that thing back from Marquell was a chore. Yeah, to be honest with you, getting it back from all those guys, I think Nolan kept it an extra day or two, and so did Carter. But I think they like it. I think they enjoy it. I think they like the symbol of it and understand that that's our deal. That's how we play. We play fast, physical, and being able to have some sort of representation of that is a good thing.
And it fires them up.
There's a lot of, I think it does fire some of those guys up and the majority up, but there's a lot of things that fire these guys up, So the broad axe, absolutely, is one thing that they use, no doubt.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure.
And Nate, just to follow up on that, it seems like there's been an evolution of these awards during games and such. What do you think about the culture of that? And, maybe it's an old fogey question, but that wasn't the case back in the day. And maybe it was a game ball or a player of the week award on Sunday or Monday, but now this seems to be the thing to do.
Yeah. I probably was the last one to step up and say, here's our deal, guys. Here, we're going to use the broad axe anytime you guys get a takeaway. Because I thought, hey man, just do your job. This is a deal where everybody's expected to fulfill their responsibility within the scheme of the defense and just go do that, and everything will take care of itself. But you know what? It's great to have fun while you're doing that, and this is one more symbol that guys can take to enjoy the moment. And anytime that you're successful in this game, because this is a hard game to play, it's a hard game to win. And anytime that you can be successful in it, I do think it's a good deal to be able to enjoy it and celebrate it a little bit.
Thanks, Nate.
Sure.